Hey, what's going on? It's the Petrol List.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Dom from the Petrol List, and I figured I'll just make a quick little video for today for the midweek update, and that is because some more news came out about the Kia N Vision 74. I don't know if you guys remember what that car is, but it is a gorgeous concept car that Kia came out with. I personally think it looks like a DeLorean, but better. Maybe a DeLorean mixed with like a Skyline or a Nissan Silvia or something. Anyway, the lines on it were amazing. Looked like a great car from like, the 80s or the 90s. And I was pretty excited to see it come out. I knew at the time already that it was going to be either, some kind of battery electric or hydrogen fuel cell car. So for me personally, it wouldn't have been something that I would have been interested in buying. But if I saw it at a car show, I would definitely stop and take a look, especially if it was hydrogen fuel cell. I think, at least that's something different mechanically to take in. Didn't really know if they're going to bring it to production or not. But so there's good news and there's bad news. The good news is they are actually going to bring it to production, but that's where the good news stops and the bad news starts, because it is going to be ultra rare. Now, what I mean by that is there's going to be 100 examples made. 70 of those are going to be for customers. 30 of those are going to be for racing. So if there are only 70 made and then 30 are for racing, you know that the cost is going to be just astronomically high. It's not going to be a Nissan Z competitor or a Supra competitor, which is really sad because it really could have been. So rumor has it is they're going to base it on the Kia Stinger architecture. And if you guys don't remember, the Kia Stinger has, or had whatever, a 3.3 liter V6 good for 368 horsepower. Now, if they wanted to, they could have simply, bored that out to like 3.4 liters or tuned up the turbos and got it up to about 400 horsepower, made it rear wheel drive instead of all wheel drive like the Kia Stinger is, and put that beautiful body on top of it. Just kind of reshaped it, used the hard points and whatnot. And that would have instantly been a Nissan competitor, a Nissan Z competitor, Toyota Supra competitor, maybe even a Lotus Emira competitor, even though that one is leaning more toward exotic. But it could have been something that they could have sold for anywhere between, $50,000 and $80,000. I mean, at $80,000, you would have some buyers because that thing just looked so good, looked so unique. You could say 400 horsepower, and you can give it, some extra fixins to justify that price, but it would have been something in the realm of reality, and people would have been flocking to it, I think. But instead, they're making it, ultra rare, and in my opinion, ultra complicated, because it is going to be hydrogen fuel cell. It is going to be 800 horsepower. And I think it's also going to be battery electric. So just super, super complicated, and a vehicle that, no regular person is really going to desire to have in their garage. So it's going to be kind of a museum piece. And it will be at approximately 70 car shows worldwide. And that is if those 70 owners decide to share it out. Now, maybe there's hope. Maybe Kia will make the decision to, make a lesser variant. I don't know, the N Vision 70, right? You can still base it on the Kia Stinger, give it the engine and specs that I was talking about, and make the Kia N Vision 74 like the Big Daddy, and make the N Vision 70 the one for, common folks like me, like the kind of thing that I would want to buy. It's not too far-fetched, because if you remember the Honda Prelude, that was going to be, fully battery electric. I think Honda has since backtracked and said that that's going to be hybrid, so that's good. And then with the Mazda Iconic SP, that was going to be a hybrid, but the rotary engine was going to be more of a generator than an actual engine. I mean, it's still an engine, but it wouldn't be used for propulsion. That's a little bit disappointed and a little bit overly complicated. but there's time. It's not supposed to come out. The N Vision isn't supposed to come out until 2026. There's time for people to make different decisions depending on where, the political winds blow. But, it could be that, South Korea is close to China. Maybe they're building it for the Chinese market, and maybe the appetite over there is for a cool looking car that is going to be complicated, that is going to be expensive, that is going to be rare, and they can, the folks in that market can show it out to their friends, because China does have a huge EV market. So, there's time, but I mean, I think if you don't want to wait for that and you don't want to take the chances, I mean, not like, most of us are going to have a chance to buy one anyway. Maybe you just buy a Chrysler Conquest or a Mitsubishi Starion for $10,000 or $11,000. LS swap it, call it a day, and you've got a good looking like 90s, super fast sports car that you can take to the track and car shows at a much, much, much lower price. I think that the questionable and weird decisions that car manufacturers are making these days are going to force enthusiasts and other car people to kind of get creative with their solutions. And I think it's going to raise the value or raise the prestige of some older enthusiast cars. I think that the Nissan 350Z and 370Z are going to go up in value. I think they're going to be sought after, because where else are you going to get a front engine, rear wheel drive, manual transmission, naturally aspirated sports car? That's going to be like a delicacy moving forward. So just a quick video. Let me know your thoughts. Will the will the N Vision 74 be something that you find appealing enough that you'd still want to put on a poster on your bedroom wall? It's rare, but is it cool enough to still be like super sought after? Or is it going to be just something that is a point of frustration and you forget that the car ever existed unless you kind of see one on the street in passing? Curious to know your thoughts. And the reason why that's important is I'm really curious what effect auto manufacturers' decisions are making on enthusiasts. Now, one note of good news: while there are the N Vision 74s of the world, there are the Corvette C8s, there are the Lotus Emiras, there are the Nissan Zs, there are the new Toyota Supras, there are the M2s of the world, the M4s of the world, and these are all enthusiast cars that are gas powered, very functional, that are within the aspirations of everyday people who actually want to use them, take them to the track, and enjoy a sports car, enjoy an enthusiast car. So there is stuff out there. I am curious to see where Kia will go with this. Like I said, I would definitely take a Stinger that was shaped like a N Vision 74. I would take that in a heartbeat, and I'm sure a lot of people would too. But just a thought. All right, I'm out.